You know that feeling, right? A debt collector who just won't stop calling? Or you're looking at your credit card bill and there's a charge that makes absolutely no sense. Well, some huge news just came down from the Supreme Court that protects the one government agency designed to help you fight back. So today, let's break down what this really means for your wallet and, the power you actually have. Okay, so first, a little bit of context. We're talking about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or you'll hear it called the CFPB. It's basically the government's main watchdog for all things financial, and it just survived a massive legal battle that it almost shut it down completely. I mean, this wasn't some minor challenge. Its very existence was on the line. And what's the result? Well, right after the court's decision, the head of the CFPB, Rohit Chopra, came out and said the agency is now firing on all cylinders. Now, that's not just political talk. It's a huge signal that they're about to ramp up everything: enforcement, new rules, all the stuff that was basically on ice because of all this legal drama.
So here's the whole story in a nutshell. If we rewind to 2011, the CFPB was created right after the 2008 financial crisis. Its whole job was to protect people like us. Then, fast forward to 2022, and a lower court basically rules that its funding is unconstitutional. That put everything in limbo. But then, just this past May, the Supreme Court stepped in, reversed that decision, and said, nope, their funding is fine. And just like that, the agency got a brand new lease on life.
So you might be thinking, okay, why does one agency in Washington surviving a lawsuit really matter to me? Well, here's why. Because the CFPB is secure, the laws it enforces are also secure. And you should really think of these laws as a toolkit for your financial life. So today, we're going to open up that toolkit and look at two of the most important tools you have to protect yourself.
All right, let's get really clear on what these two tools actually do. First, you've got the FDCPA. Think of that as your big, heavy-duty shield. It's what protects you from abusive debt collectors. Then you have the FCBA. This one's more like a surgeon's scalpel. It's super precise, designed to help you cut out specific billing errors on your credit card statement. See the difference? One stops the harassment, the other fixes the mistakes.
All right, let's grab that shield first. We're talking about the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or FDCPA. This is the big one, the federal law that lays down the law for how debt collectors have to behave. This law has been around for a while, since 1977, and its purpose is just crystal clear. Stop abusive, deceptive, and unfair practices. The whole idea is, look, collecting a debt is a real business, but you can't do it by scaring or tricking people. This law is really all about leveling that playing field between you and the collector. And this law draws some very bright lines in the sand. For starters, they can't be calling you at all hours of the night. The window is strictly 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. in your local time. They can't call you at work if you tell them not to. And this one's huge. Your debt is your business. They are legally forbidden from talking about it with your boss, your neighbors, anyone. Oh, and of course, using nasty language, threatening you with arrest. All that stuff isn't just bad form, it's flat out illegal. Okay, now listen up, because this is probably your single most powerful move. You have the right to ask for proof. If you dispute a debt in writing within 30 days of them first contacting you, they have to stop all collection efforts until they send you validation. And here's why that's a game changer. A lot of these collectors buy old debt for pennies on the dollar. And guess what? They often don't have the paperwork to back it up. By forcing them to prove it, you might just stop them cold. Okay, let's switch gears to our second tool. We're moving from the shield to the scalpel now. This is the Fair Credit Billing Act, or FCBA. And this one isn't about fighting off harassment. It's all about making sure your bills are accurate. Plain and simple, it's your right to a correct credit card bill. And the law gets really specific about what counts as a billing error. It's not just for when your card gets stolen. We're talking about unauthorized charges, sure, but also charges with the wrong date or amount, or maybe for something you ordered that never showed up or wasn't what you agreed to. Even simple math errors count. Basically, if you've ever looked at your statement and thought, wait a minute, that's not right, this law is your best friend. Okay, so how do you use it? The process is a little formal, but it's totally straightforward. Step 1, you have to write a letter, and you've got to do it within 60 days of the bill that has the error. Super important. Step 2, in that letter, include your name, account number, and just describe the error and the amount. Step 3, and this is a common mistake, mail it to the special billing inquiries address, not the regular payment address. From there, the company has to acknowledge your letter within 30 days and resolve the whole thing within 2 billing cycles, or about 90 days. And check this out. This is probably the best part. While the company is doing its investigation, you can actually withhold payment for that disputed amount. That includes any related finance charges, too. Now, you still have to pay the rest of your bill, of course. But this gives you some breathing room and makes sure you're not getting penalized while they're sorting out their mistake. So, what do you do when a debt collector just flat out ignores the rules, or a credit card company blows off your dispute letter? Well, that's when you call in the big guns. That's when you bring in the watchdog itself. See, the CFPB isn't just some far-off agency in DC. It's a direct resource you can use. If a company isn't following the law, you can go and file a complaint directly with them. Think of them as your official backup. You file with them, they forward it to the company, and they work to get you a response. It really puts pressure on the company to do the right thing. And it's really easy to get in touch. You can do it online at consumerfinance.gov/complaint, or you can just give them a call. This is your official next step when you feel like you're just not being heard. Okay, so let's bring this all full circle. Now that the CFPB's future and its funding are totally secure, what's next? What's this newly empowered watchdog gonna do? Well, according to the director, they are hitting the ground running. First, they're restarting all the enforcement work that was put on pause during this legal fight. They're also taking a hard look at those super annoying junk fees. You know, the surprise overdraft fees, random service charges, that kind of thing. And finally, they're putting more and more focus on credit reporting and making sure your credit score is actually accurate. So here's the bottom line. The consumer watchdog is back, its tools are sharp, and it has a very clear to-do list. Now that the agency isn't busy fighting for its own survival, it can get back to fighting for yours. And that really leaves us with one big question. Now that the CFPB is fully funded and firing on all cylinders, are all those hidden junk fees that drain our bank accounts finally on borrowed time?